So what do I do? I'm a shamanic therapist. I am a certified IFS practitioner, IFS meaning internal family systems. And I talk about empathy quite a lot. Everything is alive. Everything. For 190,000 years of the history of Homo sapiens sapiens, we have believed that everything is alive. And indeed, everything is alive. So you're alive. I'm alive. Obviously, plants and animals are alive. But also, illnesses are alive. Thought forms are alive. Thought forms that are fed by people, by oneself, by one's family, or by a nation. They are alive. And each of us, according to internal family systems, each of us have parts within us that are real and that are alive. I will go into this many, many other times. What difference does that make? The difference is that if something is alive, you can communicate with it. And that's what I do. I communicate with illnesses, I communicate with bacteria, I communicate with thought forms, I communicate with the parts within people. And I communicate with this idea of empathy, that none of the parts within us, and even the illnesses, are bad, are things that you must eradicate, are things that are evil or whatever. There can sometimes, occasionally be things that are not very positive that we just have to get rid of, but the vast majority of the time, our internal system is alive with parts that are trying to do their best. Simply their best is not always appropriate, or their best is not understood by us because we're not listening properly, or their best is out of date because it's a sort of a mechanism that you and I and everybody might have put in place when you were sort of 3 years old, and now you're 35 years old or 55 years old or whatever, and it's no longer appropriate because you're not living in the same situation, you have more tools, you're more mature, you're more adult, etc., etc. So this mechanism of whatever, jealousy, of anger, of migraines, of whatever it happens to be, is not appropriate or can be worked with. And that's what I do. I try to find what is at stake in the system, and whenever, for example, I work a lot with people who have physical difficulties, health difficulties, including very serious issues, heart issues, cancer issues, etc. We together go on a type of journey to figure out where this is coming from, because actually you can't really solve a health issue if you don't go and find where it's coming from. You can put a plaster on it. That's what sort of modern medicine tends to do. They'll give you a medicine, they'll give you some sort of pills or whatever, or a chemotherapy or whatever. And this can definitely be useful, particularly in a state of urgency. But we're not going to the depths of the root. And that's what I do. I, with the help of the client, or the client with the help of me, find the root of what is happening, so that whatever problem it is doesn't come back. Because if you just put a plaster, or if you just take a pill, the chances are it's going to come back. If you haven't actually worked out why this came about, the chances are it's going to come back. That's what I help with. Have a good day.